So I've recently been on a 12 to 13 week fat loss phase whereby I lost 20 pounds of body fat in those 12 to 13 weeks, as you can see right here. Now, the reason why I did this is because I believe that if I deserve the authority in order to tell people exactly how to transform their bodies, how to lose fat, how to tone up, etc., then I should be able to walk the walk. Because ultimately, if I couldn't, then it basically just like being that posh guy at school or uni who pretended that they were poor just to get attention. And besides, I woke up one morning and I thought, you know what, I'm looking a little bit chubby, let's actually start losing a little bit of fat. So these are the three main things which really helped me make as much progress as what I did in that amount of time, and the things that you could actually apply to your own fat loss journey to make yours easier too. Firstly, I actually ate more food, which is going to kind of sound a little bit interesting considering when you're trying to lose fat, everybody tells you reduce your portion sizes. No, I went a bit against the grain on that, because ultimately if I reduced my portion sizes, I would have been fucking starving. So I actually increased my portion sizes whilst keeping my calories low. I actually had more meals than what I normally do. Usually I'm quite content with 2 or 3 big meals a day. I actually spaced that out across the day and had 4 meals instead. I also included more low calorie foods in my meals, ultimately increasing the volume of food that I'm eating whilst reducing the amount of food that I'm eating alongside it. So I changed from 10% mince to 5% mince. I changed from regular cheese to reduced fat cheese. I added more vegetables to my pasta. I ate more low calorie things throughout the day. If I would have added up the weight of all of the food that I was eating throughout the day, it would have been much more than what I was eating prior to that. This helped me reduce my snacking, and it also helped fill me up a little bit more so I wasn't a starving, miserable wreck. Secondly, I ate a takeaway once a week because, in my opinion, there's nothing better than getting a phone call at 8 p.m. on a Saturday evening from the Just Eat driver outside saying that your Chinese is here, going downstairs, picking up the Chinese, getting into your kitchen, opening the bag, taking a whiff, smelling the Chinese chips and getting a feeling that's similar to that of an orgasm. If I would have restricted that feeling, I would have been a miserable cunt, and I'm just not about that life, to be honest with you. Alongside this, I probably wouldn't have adhered to my diet as long as I did, because I would have been sacrificing my favourite foods, I would have been sacrificing the joy in life that a takeaway brings me. Because the majority of people who don't lose weight because they don't try, they don't lose weight because they cannot adhere to that diet long enough. If in week 1 I said to myself, right, I'm just going to cut out chocolate, takeaway, crisps, all of that stuff, I probably wouldn't have lasted past the second week. But I did last past the second week, simply because I didn't restrict the takeaway, I didn't restrict chocolate, I didn't restrict all of my favourite foods. The only thing I did do is account my calories around it a little bit more efficiently. So if I knew I was going to have a pizza on the Saturday, for example, I probably wouldn't have had that chocolate bar at midday or the midday before. I probably wouldn't have ate the whole stick of garlic bread with my pasta. I probably would have walked to the gym that's 20 minutes away rather than the one that's right across the road. I just made a little bit more mindful choices in relation to what it is I was going to eat. Because I look at calories kind of like finances. If you have a big bill due at the end of the week, you'd probably cut back on spendings on the week leading up to it, or cut back on spendings in the days after it. So much so that you could actually know that you've got enough money to spend to pay that bill off. If you just spent willy-nilly all week, absolutely no care in the world, then you wouldn't have enough money to pay that bill off. In much the same way as if I just eat mindlessly from Monday through to Friday, I would have definitely gone over my calories by quite a bit because I ate that pizza on the Saturday. Finally, I had accountability. I did this by simply documenting my journey on Instagram. When I first started, I literally posted on my Instagram, listen, I am going to go on a 12-week cut and try to lose as much fat as possible because I want to look a little bit leaner throughout the summer, and I also want to prove that I actually can rather than just pretending that I can and telling other people how to do it. If by the end of those 12 weeks I either looked fatter than what I did when I first started, or I hadn't made much noticeable progress at all, not only would I have let myself down, I would have also let you guys down, and I would have looked like a little bit of a dick. Now, if you can't already tell, I love attention. So because of that reason, I was accountable to that journey. I actually had a consequence for not doing it. I would have looked like an absolute prick, and I wouldn't have proved my point that I can actually do it as well. So I recommend you try and find a source of accountability. Either invest in a coach, get a decent gym membership, or even better, there's something that I teach to my clients called the gym pot. So the gym pot is simply just a pot whereby you put money in that pot every time that you don't do something that you said you would. If you say that you're going to go to the gym on Wednesday and don't go, put a quid in that pot. Say that you're going to track your calories and you don't, put a quid in that pot. At the end of the month, you're going to use all that money in the pot to buy a gift for somebody that you despise. Now, obviously, you don't want to do that. Therefore, you've got a consequence for filling the pot of money up, which you do not want to do. So you will do anything to avoid that consequence. That is accountability. Follow Follow these 3 steps and I guarantee that you will make your fat loss journey a hell of a lot easier. I'm not saying that I did it perfectly, but I did it in a way which worked for me. Without blowing smoke up my arse, I think 20 pounds of body fat in 13 weeks is pretty banging. So yeah, hopefully that helps and hopefully that makes sense. If you like this video, give it a like. If you got any comments or any questions, please feel free to comment below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. And if you want to catch any more free fitness or fat loss based content without any bullshit, as always, make sure that you're either subscribed to my channel or follow my Instagram at k.p_health.